8 candidates will go head-to-head tomorrow night for the first Republican presidential debate. Now, this includes Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, Asa Hutchinson, Tim Scott, and Doug Burgum. But 2 candidates who didn't make the stage, Larry Elder and Perry Johnson, both threatening to sue the RNC, claiming they met the requirements but were rejected anyway. An RNC spokesperson responding saying, quote, criteria to qualify for the first debate was clearly presented to campaigns.
We got the first debate in this whole shebang we're going to be able to do. It should be a lot of fun.
One of my goals in that debate is for the American people, Republican primary voters, to get to know me in a little bit broader context.
Meantime, former President Trump is preparing to turn himself into the Fulton County Jail in Georgia on Thursday on charges he led a conspiracy to overturn 2020 election results there. Trump announcing on social media yesterday he plans to turn himself in on Thursday, the day after the debate. And candidates are gearing up for the first GOP debate tomorrow, and the candidate who is polling ahead in Iowa won't be in attendance. Local 5's Dana Searles spoke with the leader of a nonpartisan group dedicated to informing voters about what to expect in this debate.
Mary, it's a major event for this campaign season, and with the Iowa caucuses just around the corner, Iowans will be paying close attention to the debate. 8 candidates will line up side by side to discuss many notable issues.
There's not going to be really an issue that any of those candidates on the stage don't have kind of rehearsed lines for. What will be interesting, I think, for Iowa voters is to understand not just how a candidate's going to talk in the moment on an issue, but also kind of what's behind that.
One candidate opting out is former President Donald Trump. This comes at the same time Trump prepares to surrender to Georgia authorities. But Dell says this may not impact the polls overall.
You look historically at debates, most of the time, very little changes in terms of the polling from a debate. A lot of times that has to do with how well rehearsed candidates are going into a debate.
And while voters should be paying close attention to the issues they care about, Dell says they should also look at the way a candidate presents himself.
Presidents are on TV. Presidents are in front of cameras all the time. The ability to be articulate, the ability to be persuasive when you're in front of a camera and when you're maybe in a high-pressure environment isn't an unimportant skill to the next president.
And this debate is just the beginning of many possible campaign adjustments.
I would just say buckle up, be ready for the campaign to take twists and turns. This is one of them moving forward.
The 2-hour camp forum will begin at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Local 5 will have coverage of the debate, and we will be speaking with campaigns tomorrow to hear their reactions. Mary?
Dana, thank you. And if you plan to watch the debate tomorrow night, Local 5 has you covered with a full guide to the first Republican presidential debate, including when and where to watch, who the moderators are, and the topics that they plan to discuss. And that's all on our website at weareiowa.com. And speaking of the debate, some GOP candidates have begun to receive higher polling numbers. Connor O'Neill joins us now in studio to break down those numbers. Connor.
Hey Mary, so former President Donald Trump remains the front runner for the GOP nomination, but other candidates continue to climb the polls as well.
You can be down 52-9 nationally. You get yourself a 25 or 30% showing in Iowa, you're going to jump immediately.
Campaign strategist Pete D'Alessandro is referring to the Iowa caucus in January, but first GOP candidates have to get through the RNC's first debate Wednesday night in Milwaukee. According to the latest Des Moines Register NBC News Mediacom poll, former President Trump is currently polling in at 42% among likely Iowa Republican caucus goers, but Trump will be on the stage Wednesday night.
Well, if he's not on the stage, you're going to be able to clearly show relative to these other people running why you should be that alternative.
Here's how the current alternative candidates set to debate Wednesday night are faring in Iowa. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sits in second place, while others like South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and former Vice President Mike Pence continue to receive more support. After these 4 candidates, the polling numbers continue to decrease, with former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. But where these current polls stand, political experts don't see anyone catching up to Trump at the moment.
If you're at 42 or 44 in the first choice, There ain't no second choice. You've already made, that's 44, that's off the table. Now what are you going to do?
Snapshot today, I don't see anybody that might break out of the pack and become a serious contender.
Now, of course, like D'Alessandro said, there's still time for the candidates polling lower to gain ground and become that alternative in the Republican race, and that all starts tomorrow night at the RNC debate in Milwaukee.